Hello, this is Beth with YouTube Pagan Challenge. Excuse me, question number 31. How important are altar tools to you? They're fun. I have a bunch of them that I currently don't use. If you got the room and the space for it, it's a lot of fun to have a proper altar. And it can be very powerful to have that. But when it comes down to it, you really are the only tool you need. And I think that the basic of magic and spell work really just is from inside. And the altar tools are the bits and bobs that make it fun. And you get to play with them and help you. And they can definitely help you get into a certain state of mind dealing with the sacred faster and quicker in many ways. And I think that's too why we use them, because they help direct our intent and our thoughts and what we want to bring in to a circle or to a candle or whatever it is you're working with. For the most part, though, me and my finger are my main tools at this point in time. I do a lot of crystal grids, but they're like the icing on the cake is what they are. And that's kind of how I see tools and candles and all that stuff, is that you're the cake and those are all the icing that make it a little more fun and pretty to work with these, because I work with cards a lot, and they are often featured on altars and grids. So those probably would be my most frequently used tool in a way. It's like salt and water. I go get a little bowl from the kitchen and I mix it up in my little kitchen bowl, and I don't have a dedicated one. So I like them. I like things. I like pretties. I just don't really use them as much. I don't have room for a dedicated altar. I do have some crystal grids up that I have made room for, but creating a proper altar at this point, because I have many crystal grids, and one resides on top of the printer, which just makes a nice battery for it. Yeah, you can tap into electrics with your stuff. A friend who lived in this place in Salt Lake that was an old garden, and there's all these old electrical outfits, and there was a lot of activity there, and some of it was unfriendly, and some of it was really interesting, but they had all these sconces, electrical sconces for lights. The place was one big freaking battery. So you can use things like your printer to help charge things. Weird things I think about. But back to altar tools. Oh, geez. Yeah, really, they're fun. I don't really use a ton of them right now. I have a little shrine set up to Kuan Yin, which is currently being overrun by hair clips, and some tarot cards for a blog. She needs to be freed up a little. But too, it's like, because a lot of times too, what I'm doing is not like when you're working in the art journal for your spiritual experience too. I'm kind of reluctant to like have candles around, because I get freaked out about my water sometimes of knocking it over. And I do know someone in one of the art journaling communities I'm in on Facebook, she stepped away for a minute and her art journal caught fire. So there's also that aspect. And then paint sometimes is not all paint. I don't really work with a lot of flammable stuff, but why risk it besides paper? So things I do a lot of times, like with art journal, that kind of is the altar, that is the setup. So having something like a proper, you could, I guess, cast circle and set up an altar and get it going and do your art journal, and by that time I'm too much time and then you don't have time to art journal. But so, you know, some of this stuff I do is not like what I would call formal ritual work. Very much at this point in time, a lot of it's extremely informal and not really in need of a ton of altar tools. Although they are fun and they are pretty and they are very enjoyable. But, you know, ultimately, I'm the cake and they're the icing. I'm what's doing it. My energy is, they're just there to focus. So if it's not focusing your energy, that's when you really need to take a look at why you're using altar tools. And if it's scattering, I have just found the more I simplify, the less I use those kind of things, even though they're so fun at times to have going. And I probably would set up a proper altar if I had the space at this point in time. Not happening. Shrines and little crystal grids I can squish into places, but we'll see. But okay, that is it for question, what is it, number 31? How important are altar tools to you? Bye.